Well, networking permeates every part of life, from mums sharing information about parenting to tradies talking about other tradies and where they can source materials, and then as you go through business people sharing information. And at that level, networking becomes really important, and that's why this is really interesting. Business Networks International. Many of you would not know about Business Networks International. It is the biggest networking organisation in the world. It formalises networking, but in a way that I've never heard this done before. It is quite unique, and it is very, very special. And I've got Bob Greenup, who's the local head of the organisation BNI, with us now. Hello, Bob.
Good day, John. How are you?
Now, this Business Networks International, it is an organisation. You join Business Networks International, but it's not like an RSL club where you sign up and you're taken straight in.
You apply to join, and basically it's a selection process. So what we're doing when we generate referrals, we do millions of referrals a year. When you're generating referrals, what you're doing is you're putting your reputation on the line. So you just can't take anybody into a networking group and share your reputation. So it's about making sure you have a selection process, that people come in and they can walk their talk and they are referable, so that you don't damage your own reputation when you refer them.
Yeah, so your members refer people as potential members.
Yes.
Then they come in, and to join the organisation, it's not about coming in and saying, well, I'm going to get a lot of networking and a lot of business cards out of this group. It's very much about what you can offer. Yeah,
look, the fundamental philosophy, going back when BNI was first started 31 years ago, it was never designed to be the size it is today, obviously, but the whole notion behind the first group that was created was basically helping other people, helping associates, colleagues, suppliers, clients to be able to grow their business. So that whole notion's been captured in a little tagline that we use called Givers Gain. So it's about coming in and helping other businesses be successful, helping them with their personal growth, their professional growth, and you come in with that mindset. So if you imagine, we meet every week, so these business people are getting together weekly and sharing their time together. If you imagine if you came into a meeting every week and everybody coming in was there trying to sell something, it would be a nightmare. But when you come into a BNI chapter, everybody's there trying to help somebody. So it's a completely different experience. It's just a very warm experience.
Because when something works for you and you do it well, you think, I'd like to tell someone about that. Yeah, that's a natural human thing. So you've formalised that so you can go along and say, hey, have a look at this. This is a really good idea. Maybe you should try it as well.
Yeah, look, one of the things in business, of course, is that everyone's worried about the competition all the time, and you sort of don't know who to talk to, who to share your ideas with, who to share your challenges with, your aspirations with. So what we do when we build the groups, we put only one category per member in a group, which means that they can actually come into the group and they can share their experiences, they can share the history that they've been through, the things that have gone wrong, the things that have gone right, and they can actually help other people develop the right mindset to be successful in business.
That was a question I was going to ask about whether you have, you can't have your competitor sitting in the room with you, because that's part of business. So when you go into the meeting, you have weekly meetings and people gather, and there's no secret handshakes or anything.
There's no secret handshakes. The only secret to the whole process is you have to have the right attitude. You've got to be referable, and you have to have the right mindset of helping other people. If you come in with that opposite attitude, it's going to destroy you. So the thing I actually love about it is the fact that the members in the group select the people who come into the group. We don't do it. We actually provide the training once you're in the group, once you've been selected. So this is the first business I've ever been in that we actually don't have anything to sell. We actually facilitate.
So what is the training? What do they do? What kind of training do they?
Effectively what happens when they come in, when you imagine a normal sales situation out there in the marketplace, the average business person is trained to sell, trained to actually open doors, cold call, all that type of thing, right? And it's challenging, and you get that mindset, if you're not good at it, you fail. When you come into BNI chapters, you've actually got to ditch that mindset. You've actually got to come in with the notion that you're now training, educating and building trust with the people in the room. It's not about selling to them, it's about selling through them. By developing trust, developing knowledge and understanding between those business people so they feel comfortable to go and introduce you to opportunities in the marketplace. So we have to train them for that. When they join a BNI chapter, they have to do a minimum of 3 to 4 hours training, and we've got up to 30 hours of training we give people to be able to shift that mindset so they can be successful using the model.
That's practical training in...
Face-to-face training, webinars, as well as online mentoring and also mentoring within the chapter. So the chapter itself have got trained people in there that actually help those members make that transition.
Yeah. And the nature of those gatherings, when and where can you...
Yeah, look, we all hold them any time of the day or night, literally 7 days a week, but the members choose when they meet, where they meet and so on, because this is a cooperative and they're actually running their cooperative under our tuition. They, oddly enough, in our city anyway, they all choose to meet at 6:30 in the morning. Yep. They want to be done by 8:30, 8:45, and then off to their workplace. So they typically, in Sydney, we've got about 600 people wandering the streets at 6:30 in the morning looking for their venue.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, 600. Literally 4 days a week we've got meetings going on. Yep. So you've got 600 people a week literally wandering around finding their meeting, and that's when they meet. So literally a 2-hour meeting.
Yeah, and what sort of outcomes? Because in the end, if you're there as part of a company and they might want to say, others might say, well, what are you getting out of this? What sort of outcomes do you describe for people?
We tend to focus on the money, but there's a lot more to it than that. We've got just over 600 members in this particular region, and last year they generated $94.5 million in business between the 600 members. Yeah. But when we ask members what they get out of it, they talk about the support structure, the fact that they actually are held accountable every week to make sure they show up and they're focused on their business, not working in their business, that they actually can go and rub shoulders with lawyers, accountants, web developers, bookkeepers, IT people, all sorts of professions, and actually get different slants on their business ideas and get different perspectives on how they might be able to move forward. So they get this inspirational input, which allows them to professionally develop. And when they go to these meetings, they have to present themselves every week. They have to get up and present their business. So they're also getting presentation skills. They get confidence about pitching their business. Yep. So it's an important whole personal, professional development thing that goes on in the background. We also have leadership team roles, so everyone has to be prepared to participate in running their business unit. So we have presidents, vice presidents, treasurers, all these people are trained in leadership skills on how to manage entrepreneurs. One of the toughest groups you can ever manage is an entrepreneur. So we've got all these entrepreneurs who are actually working collaboratively together, and we're training them on how to work with other entrepreneurs as a team, how to lead each other, how to inspire each other, how to motivate each other.
And phenomenally, and as you say, because you've mentioned those numbers, the notion is you don't go along there thinking, well, I'm going to try and get something out of this. You simply go saying, here's what I've got to offer. Yep. You throw it in, and then something will come your way. Yeah,
what actually happens is you're actually educating them, you're building the trust, you educate them about what your particular solutions are, and the thing is that when people go to a BNI chapter, they often confuse the fact that the people in the room are actually the clients of the other people. That's not the case. Yeah. What you're doing is selling through the room, so each person's got 150 to 500 connections outside the room. Right. Once you've got the know, like and trust equation in place, then they'll introduce you to the 150 to 500 people they know. You've got a 40-member chapter, that's 6,000, anything up to 20,000 people that are represented by the first level connections that are sitting inside the room. So you've got to go through a process to make sure you are trusted and they know what it is you offer and how to introduce you to those opportunities.
Sounds very good. Where do we join? BNI? Well, as you say.
You apply to join. We accept about 40 to 50% of applications. Yeah. Okay. So it's tough to get in. Because we are protecting people's reputations. So when people get in, they tend to stay for quite some years. We've got members 15, 16, 17 years in BNI. And because they don't give up their seats very readily, it's hard to actually get that seat. So we have to create new chapters all the time. So we're growing chapters continually, but it's a hard gig. You've got to find 30 or 40 business people who are trustworthy, referable, want to grow their business, who are prepared to commit to building relationships, who are prepared to actually show up every week, who want to grow their business. It's a bit like a sort of a dating service at a business level, trying to find all that chemistry to make it work.
Sounds very inspiring, actually. Bob, thank you very much. Thanks,
John. Thanks very much.